On this week's show, how to build an investor list of investors who want to buy your deals.
This week, we're going to be talking about what property entrepreneurs should be doing during the shutdown.
And we're going to be answering all your property-related questions.
Welcome to the Property Investors Podcast. We are here every Friday at 12 p.m. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an upload. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify and YouTube. Enjoy this week's show and don't forget to share with all of your friends.
Hi, I'm Russell Leeds.
I'm Alasdair Cunningham.
And welcome to the Property Investors Podcast. You may notice a couple of things. First of all is we're not together. We're not in a studio. We're what we call socially distancing. It's funny because I've actually wanted to socially distance from Alasdair for quite a long time now, so this is giving me the perfect chance to do that.
I've been trying as well, trust me.
But we're also filming this totally live. I mean, we're filming it on the day. I mean, it's not going to go out 100% live, but there's no edits, straight through. No Alasdair shouting "cut," which he usually does when I say something a little bit too rude.
It happens a lot, so
that can't happen on this show. So we're going to be going straight through.
So basically, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to be quiet and watch and let you do the speaking. We're good. So, how are you coping during this shutdown? I've not seen you in person for like a week and a half now. So
it's been a while. I'm very well. It's really interesting because I don't know if you found this, but I'm doing stuff that we don't normally do. So like we had like a weekend, and normally, we like to fill our time with stuff. So we'll go out, and if we don't we're not hang around us. We don't. I know you're the same actually as well.
Yeah.
We don't like to just sort of stay at home.
Mm.
But we're doing things just like sitting out in the garden, doing jigsaw puzzles with the kids, and all the sort of stuff that we don't normally do, which I actually am quite enjoying in a way. It's really weird. Obviously, like the homeschooling the kids at the moment, Anna is, but I'm helping a little bit. But yeah, it's really surreal, but really interesting. I'm actually quite enjoying the lockdown at the moment. I am.
I'm hating it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm hating it. I get cabin fever very quickly. And I my apartment's 4th floor. It's got windows, but there's no balcony or anything like that, and there's no garden. So I'm climbing the walls at the minute. So I've been catching up a lot on like do you know all the stuff that we always sort of put off from doing, all the little bits of paperwork, the little knows what to do. Like, so I've been wanting to sort out my YouTube channel for a long time. I've been wanting to sort out things like my book. I'm changing my book. All these little things that just get put off because we're always so busy.
Well, exactly. It's like an amazing chance to do all that sort of stuff. So like, I'm the same, man. So like my book, by the way, my book is now officially out.
Yeah.
And because everyone's suffering at the moment with the coronavirus, I decided to put it up for free for 48 hours. So we're filming this today. So you've got like a couple of days. I think it's on the weekend. I think it stops anyway. So you haven't got very, very long. Can we throw a link in underneath this?
If I'm editing it, I don't know, but yeah, I'm sure.
Right. Well, not on the screen, just in the description, yeah?
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
Doing that. But if you go to, if Alasdair forgets to do that, because Alasdair, we're doing it all ourselves now, this is crazy. But if you go to Amazon and just search Russell Leeds Entrepreneurs Blueprint, it will come up, and it's free right now from Amazon for you to enjoy. So that is finished, done, dusted. And, so that's something to thank the creator for. And I know you've been working really hard on the membership site, haven't you, with Samuel?
Yeah, we've just launched this week, Samuel 365, which is basically it's a lot of our training put online at the membership site. So you can get along 14 days, completely free trial. No, sorry, it's not. It is free, but there's a £1 sign-up fee, like a £1 admin sign-up fee. Completely free otherwise. 14 days, you can go and see it all, watch all the training. And on the training, there's 15 hours. Am I right? 15 hours of footage.
I've been looking through it in detail. So as far as I can see, at the moment you've got like over 15 hours of advanced training. There's a lot of you on there. There's Samuel on there, Ricky, Anthony, and it's footage from the Deal Finding Extravaganza and the Never Use Your Own Money Again programs.
Yeah,
got that. the crash course online, which is getting uploaded, I think, like tomorrow or the next day, very, very soon. You've got the crash course online, because obviously we're not running crash courses at the moment. You also get coaching call with you.
Yes, I was going to say that's got to be the most valuable bit, isn't it? The weekly, every single week, I'm going to be holding a webinar, a live coaching call with everyone that's on that site to answer your questions, take your questions, and I'll be bringing guests in. So I'll bring other trainers in, I'll bring guests in to sort of add more value to that. And it's just £1 to get involved and to try it out, and then if you like.
Although I'm not sure how long that's. I'm not trying to at all create scarcity, but I think that I was speaking to Samuel earlier, and I think he's planning on taking that offer down pretty sharpish. And after that, it's going to be £95. So if you're watching this like tomorrow or something, it's going to be £95 a month. But you get the coaching call once a week with you. You got all this footage. It's going to be awesome. So so you've been working. So we've been doing loads of stuff. Yeah. Because obviously the coronavirus has struck. Everyone's on lockdown. Everyone's gone quiet. But we're still busy. We're still hustling. You're still selling deals.
Yeah, we've sold 3 deals this week. So in the coronavirus shutdown, we've had 3 deals go out, and we've sold 3 deals this week. And we've got a refurbishment project starting as well, which has just been sort of sorted out. It's not. I don't think they're actually starting just yet, but it's an open air site, so that's certainly it's been agreed upon this week. As of the start date, I don't know exactly yet, but that's going to be soon. So yeah, there's, and you know what? The deals that we sold to investors, not one of the investors said, "Oh, what about the coronavirus?" They don't care. They don't care because they know that when times are difficult and when there's let's just say we do go into recession or depression, whatever, they know that that's a good time to invest because prices are going down. So what it means is we can negotiate harder on the prices, and we can just negotiate a lot harder. So all my investors that have been, they're actually actively looking to invest in properties. Obviously, it's very difficult at the minute because a lot of the lenders have restricted how much they're going to lend. They've restricted like buy-to-let mortgages. They've also decreased the loan-to-value rate on bridging. So I'm buying a deal in Bedford at the minute. We've had to put that on hold, unfortunately, because the bridgers suspended all lending for the time being, which is a bit of a bummer. But listen, there's bigger problems in the world at the minute than me buying a house in Bedford. So we'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, it's very, very exciting times, but it's also it's times we've never seen before in our life. So we just have to make the best of it. Listen, the world is in the same boat as us at the minute, so it's not as if it's just me or just you.
No.
Just to suck it up and see what happens, and just stay safe, stay at home, and remember, business goes on. But also for that, life has to go on as well. Do you know what I mean? So
for sure. And the other thing is as well is we know it's going to be a short-term thing, isn't it? It's not going to be a long. I mean, obviously, what happens to the economy afterwards might be bigger, but in terms of the actual coronavirus, everything's going to start getting back to normal.
It will. I mean, who knows how long? We're going to be on sort of lockdown, so to speak, for 3 weeks. We're now 4 or 5 days. How many days? I don't know. I've lost track of days and time. So we're like 3-4 days into it. So we'll just have to, like, do you know what I mean? I keep seeing these Facebook posts that say, "Look, our grandfathers were asked to go to war. Like you've been asked to sit on a sofa and not go out your front door. So don't screw this up." Like, it's not difficult, is it? I know it's very, very frustrating, but come on, it's not as if we're being asked to go out and fight a battle somewhere or face immediate death. We're being asked to stay indoors and stay safe so that it protects the other people and protects the NHS. But what was really nice, I don't know if it happened near you, but last night, obviously, we had the nationwide celebrate the NHS at 8 p.m. Last night. Yep, absolutely. And I was very surprised. I'm on the 4th floor, and I managed to open my window and I could watch everyone else. And there was people with car horns. There was people set fireworks off their balconies and all sorts.
Really?
Yeah.
It was very, very different where I am because
you're very conservative.
No, people did clap, but the house is quite far. It's not like it's London centre, is it?
Yeah.
The houses are quite far apart. So Anna went out to clap, and we could hear people clapping in the distance, but it was very much like
it was very much well done. Whereas whereas in London, central London, where I am, there's people cheering, bouncing. It went on for like 20 minutes.
Really? Yes. Went on for about 1 minute where we were.
Oh, really? No.
1 minute of, I think 8:01. I think people were looking at their, do you know like the minutes applause at a football match? I think it's like that. People were like looking at their watch, 8:01.
Yeah, I tend to watch casually. No, it was very much like people set fireworks off. Outside my window, I've got like a little football yard. There's a football courtyard, and there was people went in there and set fireworks off. And there was.
I hope they weren't congregating together.
No, there was only 2 of them, so they're good.
That's right. That's right.
But you know what I've just noticed?
What?
I'm taller than you. Like,
you are? You are?
It's because I'm on the screen. First time ever I've been taller than you on the Property Investors podcast. Anyway, listen, we can talk about this all day. So what do we need to talk about on today's show?
Okay, so we're working our way through your sources acronym to learn how to be a good deal sourcer. So very, very quickly to recap, we've done S, which is for
setup.
We've done O,
offering.
Give me a U, understanding. Give me an R,
research.
And now we're on C, which is
clients. It's any business. If you haven't got clients, you'll never make a penny. Never make a penny.
No.
In business, right? And that's fact. So clients are the most important, one of the most important things, factors of this business. And I have a way of finding them. And you got to understand, when I started in this business, like 3 years ago, I had no investors. I didn't have people to go to sell deals to. I didn't have people to go to raise finance from. I just didn't. I didn't have that network of people.
Very, very soon.
What was that all about?
I was opening Facebook just to see if any questions had come in, and obviously the last thing that appeared was your Facebook Live.
It's great. I mean, I'm giving my system away, and he's scrolling Facebook because it's funny. But anyway, I didn't have investors. I didn't have people to go to. I didn't have any of this sort of stuff. And as of like today, I'm dealing with about 7,600 investors from all over the world. Now they're not all ready to buy deals, but they're not, and they're also not people that have just put a name and put an email into a form that's that says send me some deals. They're people that have gone through a 2-step system, like a verification system, to make sure they have got money and they're ready to purchase. And they have to tell me how much money they've got. And therefore, they're a slightly hotter list. They're a slightly warmer list of people to.
I heard you mention a few times, you only like having hot investors on your list.
I know there's a catch somewhere, but I only like having hot investors on my list. Go on.
So how do you decide whether they're hot or not?
Hot or not? Yeah. Because we have this 2-step verification, okay, and in there you have to do a drop down button. There's a drop down box that says.
Did you just ask them? Do you say, how much? Are you hot?
Are you hot? No, I don't. No. They have a special section that they go to, the hot ones.
Okay.
So, but basically, because it's not just a case of name and email, they've got like a questionnaire they've got to fill out, which most people will not do that. They just won't. I know when I go to sign up to stuff online, if it asks for more than 2 or 3 things out of me, I can't be bothered, so I just don't do it. So the fact that they filled out the 2-page questionnaire it means that.
So would you not sign up for your own list? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, that's a good point. If I was serious, I would. If I was looking to invest in property, I would. But you're not going to get people that are just scrolling and just want to have a look, are you? So therefore, like, I know my list probably isn't the biggest in the UK. It's only got 7,600 people on there. But my point being is they're active. So I would rather have quality over quantity. There's no point having a list of 30,000 if they're never buying off you.
I agree. It's the same as anything. It's the same as like social media followings. There's no point having a massive following if you've got no engagement.
Of course. You need engagement. You need people that are actually interested in what you do. Now, the guy that does all my campaign marketing, my website marketing, all that sort of stuff. He does.
Excuse my dog barking in the background, by the way. If you can hear it, I don't know if you can.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. So he. Oh, that was so funny. Whew, I just have to restrain myself so much because we can't edit.
But... You go, man. You go. You say what you want.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Next time, right? Okay, the moment's gone now. But that would have been so funny. Anyway, so I've got a guy called Ashley who looks after my my CRM systems, and he looks after my mailing campaigns, my emails, all that sort of stuff. And he's astonished by the response rate I get from my email list. He says it's like he's never seen anything before, and he deals with businesses all around the UK that have mailing lists.
Yeah,
and they're getting like maximum 7 or 8%, 7 or 8% hit rate. So if you send out an email, you get 7 or 8%, or even that's really, really high. Whereas I'm getting like 20, 25, 30% hit rate. So I've got a really high hit rate when I send an email out. And it's all about having high quality people on that list. Now, I attended a seminar like when was it? 2004, 2005. So it's like 14, 15 years ago. And it was from a guy that was all about mailing lists and about marketing. And I didn't find the seminar that interesting, to be honest. I found it quite boring. But I got all the way to the end. And the very, very last thing he'd done was he wrote on a bit of paper, he wrote on a flip chart, the money is in your list. That's it. That's all he wrote. The money is in your list. Now, remember that. If that's the only thing you take away from this podcast, make sure it's that. And then what he done was he said goodbye to everybody, and he said, thanks all for coming. And he says, I'm going to leave you with one thing. He wrote it on the flip chart, dropped the pen on the floor, and then walked out the building. And it was just literally, the money is in your list. And that clicked with me. And it's so true. The money is in your list. Because if you've got a hot list of investors, if you've got a list of people that are ready to invest, yeah, you can go to them for anything. You can go to them to promote your deals to. So if you've got deals you want to settle, you can go to them for that. If you're looking to raise finance, you can go to them for that because it's an investment at the end of the day. So you can say, look, I'm looking to raise £50,000. I'll give you a 10% return. There's many investors from around the world that would do that. For instance, my list, about a year ago now, I was looking to raise £45,000 for a couple of deals I was going through. And the reason, listen, I had the money, so I could have used it myself. I could have used my own money, but I wanted to test my list to see if it actually, if it had the ability to raise finance. And I was astonished. £45,000 I needed. And within about 2-3 hours of me sending out an email, I had 9 people offer me £45,000 for a 10% return over the year. So they were offering me £45,000 to make £4,500 interest over the year. When you think about it, that's 45 grand times 9. That's just under £500,000. Like that's what is it? 400,000.
About 400,000. Yeah.
£400,000. So it's like in the space of 2-3 hours. Now I didn't need the money in the end, so I didn't take the money. But my point being is, I now know 9 of them people are ready to invest money. So my point being is, the money is in your list. That's it.
Remember, so here's the question then. Money's in the list. How? That all makes sense. But the question I'm going to be asking, I'm sure everyone's asking at home, is...
How do you investors?
Sorry?
How do you get people on that list?
Yeah. How do you get this quality list of people with money in?
Okay, so... Sorry, I've got heartburn. I've got really bad heartburn. Russell, you talk for a minute. I need to swallow. That sounded so bad.
So, you pay back.
It's so bad. I had heartburn because I'm getting old, and so I just had to take some tablets. Right. Okay. How do I get investors in the list? Right. It's crucial. It's very, very crucial that you get good quality people into your list.
Yeah, we know all that. How do you get these good quality people?
I'm telling you.
Well, you're not.
I am. I'm getting there.
Oh.
The first thing you've got to do is you've got to be able to find good deals. Because if you find a good deal, it will naturally attract good investors. That's simple. Get good at finding good deals. Okay.
Yeah.
That's got to happen. That's a must. Okay. Secondly, is you need to identify who these people are. Who is it you're looking for? If you don't know who you're looking for, who you're targeting, you're just targeting the world, and that's not good enough. If you think about
is it a little bit of a catch-22 though? Because like, if you let's say like I've got a good deal, but I've got no list, I've got no website, I've got no. Do you think
we'll get there?
Come on.
I know what you're going to say. We'll get that same question I get every single time somebody asks me how to find investors. Right, you need to identify. Think about it. Right. Think about when think of a company you know. I don't know. McDonald's. Yeah. Okay, McDonald's. Right. McDonald's. Apple, even better. But everyone's got an Apple. Right. Something that's a bit niche. Okay. Like a sports car, like a BMW or a Mercedes. They've got a specific demographic for who they're looking for. Like they're going to target their marketing to that demographic. So like Mercedes-Benz are not going to target and focus all their marketing and all their efforts to areas of the country that aren't generally buying Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, no, Mercedes-Benz are going to be targeting like cool, young, awesome people, and like it's like Porsche. Like Porsche target sort of middle-aged,
people like
slightly overweight twats, right? And they've got the market. What?
Oh, okay. What? Yeah, go on. Didn't you used to have a Porsche? Oh no, that was not a real Porsche, was it? That was a Porsche.
It was the same. It was the same as yours.
It was a hairdresser's Porsche. No, it's not.
It is.
Yeah, but it was the old one, and it had a fold down roof because you're too goddamn tall. You had to stick your head out the top. So anyway, like look, you've got to identify who your investors are, who you're looking for. Are you wanting cash-rich investors? Are you wanting broke investors? Who are you looking for? First, identify who they are. Okay. Now, that way, do you know it's so important because then if you choose to do marketing by like Facebook adverts and things like that, you can really niche in on who that person is. You can really scale down who they are, like, and it reduce your marketing costs. Secondly, go and network where they network. So if you're looking for business people that are running successful businesses, go to networking events that they're likely to be going to. You're not going to find these generally in the pub. You're not going to find these at social events. You're going to find these sort of people in business networks, like BNI, for networking. There's loads. Just Google business networks in your area. I guarantee you there'll be a network in your area that you can attend, probably 2 or 3 a week, where business owners get together for a coffee morning, for a business breakfast meet up, for a business sort of get together in the evening, things like that. And there might not be loads of people there, but you're not looking for loads of people. You could start being successful in this business with 2 or 3 investors on board, right? So go to these networking events. Go to any networking event you can go that's about wealth creation, about personal development, about finance, about like what else? What do you think?
Well, I think that if you're going to, I think you need to be the expert.
Yeah, 100%.
I think one of the reasons that
we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Okay. Don't ask me what I think then. And then
don't give too much. Wait a minute. I'm talking about what networking events to go to. Do you know any that you used to go to?
The 2 I used to do were BNI and 4N.
Okay, BNI and 4N.
There's also you can go to the Chamber of Commerce do networking. I did that.
Yes. Yeah, really good. Okay, and when you go to these networking events, you have to be able to add value to them. So it comes back to what you're saying. Be the expert. Be the person in the room that adds the most value to the people in the room. Don't try and stand up and sell to these people. No. Be the person that stands up and says, "Look, my name's Dave. I'm a plumber. I can help you analyze the plumbing on a property or whatever." That's if you go to like a So if you went to a property networking event, like
that's a great pitch. That is.
No, I'm telling you. Hold on.
What was your? No, I want to hear your plumber. I want to hear your plumber elevator.
I'm going to.
No, just do it now. Just do it now. It was amazing.
I've got to set the context. So the first context, right? If you go to like a property networking event, an event where it's purely property people that are looking, there'll be all different ranges of beginner to really successful. And let's just say you're a tradesman, or you're an accountant, or you're a IT guy, or you're something. You can add value. You don't have to stand up and offer to sell them deals or to offer to JV with them, because before you do business with them, they've got to know you, like you, and trust you. So what I would do, let's just say I'm Dave the plumber, right?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah,
Dave the plumber, right? Just wait, you right. What you would
from
do?
from Pimlico Plumbing.
Yeah, good one, good one. What I would do is I would stand up and say, hey, my name's Dave. I'm a plumber. I specialize in plumbing systems. If anybody would want me to come around with them, look at property with them, and offer them free advice on the plumbing system or a plumbing upgrade for your HMO, come and see me. I'll happily come out with you, and let's see if we can do something together. So you're not selling to them, right? You're offering them free advice. You're offering them a free something. Now I could make that pitch a lot better, but I've just thrown it off. It's come off the cuff.
Yeah.
You could make it much better. Like I've got another one. Like if you're an accountant, if you work in finance, hey, my name's Mary. I work in finance. I'm an accountant. I'm
Mary. There's something about Mary.
Something about Mary. Okay, hey, my name's Mary, and I'm an accountant. I'll sit down free with anybody for 30 minutes and talk about their tax affairs to make sure they're buying their properties in the most tax efficient way. Completely free of charge. Free consultations. That's what it's about. Offering people your services for free, because then they will ultimately buy off you.
Assuming that you're good.
Assuming you're good. But my point being is they get to try before they buy. They get to know, like, and trust you. They get to.
So if you were a deal sourcer, would you be then giving free property advice?
Okay, so here's one of the ones I used to say. I didn't used to go to property networking events to find investors. I used to go to them to find properties and find deals and off-market deals. So I used to stand up and say, hey, my name's Alasdair Cunningham. I own a company called Better Source Limited. I match up hot, ready-to-buy investors with tired landlords that are looking to offload some property. So if you've got some property you're looking to sell, I can help you sell them very, very quickly. Please come and see me in the break. So that's what I used to do. So I wasn't selling to them. I'm helping them.
But what about if you were trying to build an investor list?
Yeah, if you're trying to build an investor list, I would word it very slightly differently, because you don't want to be selling to them. You don't want to be selling deals. Because what I see a lot, right, and as you go to any networking event, and I guarantee you'll see this, somebody will stand up and go, hey, my name's Paul. I run a company called Paul's Sourcing Empire. I'm finding amazing deals in the Northeast. So if you're looking to buy deals in the Northeast, please come and see me in the breaks. You see it all the time.
Yeah, you do.
It pisses people off because you're just trying to sell to them straight away. That's all you're trying to do. So how you could change that is you could say, hey, my name's Paul. I'm finding amazing deals in the Northeast. I'm out looking at these deals day in, day out. So if you're looking in the Northeast and you've got an idea, if you're looking in the Northeast and you've got a strategy in mind and a property in mind, let's have a chat and maybe we can do something together. But it's still not great, but I need to work on it. But don't be selling to them. You need to be offering your services in a way that it offers value before you sell. So you could say something like this: hey, my name's Paul. I'm finding amazing deals in the Northeast. If you want to come out with me for a full day of viewings free of charge, I'll happily come along, show you exactly how we critique the properties and the sort of properties that we're looking for and how we make sure they're good properties. Come along and I'll show you how we stack them, or something like that. Do you know what I mean? You're adding value to them before you say, look, do you know what? If you want to buy one of them, you got to pay me for it.
Yeah.
Don't.
Or you could do like a video, or you put together a little manual on how you assess a deal, how you do, and you can say this is what we do, and then they're going to think, oh, you know what? Let's just let Alasdair do it.
Do you know something? I was working with somebody last year on the sort of private mentoring that we used to do, and I can't remember his exact pitch, but basically I got him to do this, and I got him to put together like a PDF file that he would email over to them, and in that had loads of videos that he'd done from when he was out doing viewings, and that got him so much business because people realized how much work is involved. Like, do you know the amount of times I see people saying online, why are you using a property sourcer? You've got a free sourcer and an estate agent. And I'm like, well, you haven't, because a good property sourcer will do all the legwork for you. And it comes down to, as an investor, how much do you value your time? All these people that are saying you don't need to use property sourcers, you don't, but you're going to have to put time into it. So what do you value more, your time or paying $2,000 to a sourcer to find you a deal? And I'm not just saying that because I have a sourcing business. If you don't want to use me, don't use me. It doesn't bother me. I've got thousands of investors that do. So I don't need one person not to use me. I actually don't care. My point being is, when you find the right investors, they value your time. So all these people that say you don't need to use sources, they're right, they don't. But you let them go out and find the deals themselves. But a good sourcer will look at many houses before they find one deal. So, and I remember when I first started, I was looking at 20, 30 houses to find one decent deal that stacked. Now we do a lot of the homework before we even leave the building, before we even leave our house to go and look at the property. So we're now got a very good hit rate, like 1 in 5 normally. So like
it's effort though, isn't it? And a lot of people don't have time, or if you're working Monday to Friday and you don't really know what you're doing, you want to be spending weekend after weekend going out and doing viewings.
That's it. So that's a great way to add value to people. So when you go to a networking event, always do a 20-second pitch. Stand up, tell people what you can offer them, tell people what you can do, but don't try and sell to them. So a great way would be, hey, my name is Paul. I'm finding deals in wherever, Telford, whatever. If you want to come along with me on a day out of viewings, I'll show you exactly what we're looking for, exactly how we analyze a property. And if you want to do business, we can do business. That's it. You're adding value. You're offering to help these people.
So you add value, show you what I was sort of saying earlier, which is kind of like, I think people are interested in, if they see you as an expert, then they're interested in learning from you and buying from you. But you need to make sure that A, you are an expert, because if you're not an expert, why the hell are you going out finding people deals anyway? You need to be very, very good at finding deals, and then you need to let people know that. Have case studies of deals that you've found. Return on investments, happy investors. If you've got all that, it's like the same as any business, you know. If you've got social proof, then people are going to be interested in buying from you. People are going to be interested in joining your investor list. And then once you've got that, I agree with what you're saying. Once you've got that, you need to qualify them, and don't just let anyone join your list. You want to be asking them questions, finding out who they are, and targeting the right people. Which is one of the reasons why you don't do sort of like rent-to-rent deals and stuff like that, isn't it?
No, I don't sell rent-to-rent deals. I'm not interested in them. I find rent-to-rent deals are just problematic. I find that there's always problems with them completing. There's always problems with something. Now I do rent-to-rent deals for myself, and I do help people find them. But I certainly don't sell the lead. But I just pass people. Anyone that wants to buy rent-to-rent from me, I pass them on to Ricky. From MP Sourced, and he deals with them
because it's quite hard to complete, isn't it? With the rent. It's not like it's different, isn't it, from a normal deal? So I understand that.
My business sticks to HMOs. We don't really do single buy-to-lets because the investors are interested in them, but we focus on buy, refurbish, refinance into HMOs or into good single let. HMOs, buy, refurbish into HMOs or development, or like big stuff like pubs and stuff like that, into flats and big conversions and stuff like that. That's what we sort of focus on. So yeah, like I say, you got to be adding value to these people, okay? Do as much as you can to add value to somebody. Next, you got to keep engaged. Stay engaged with them. Keep in touch with them. Don't be that person. Don't find an investor and then ignore them for the next 6 months, and then then suddenly you've got a deal in 6 months' time, and you're like, "Hey, I'm here. Remember me? I've got this amazing deal," because they'll have forgotten who you are next week. Okay, so I engage with my investors every single week on a Tuesday, 9 a.m. I send them either a deal sheet, information, value, something. I send them every single week. I also send a proportion of my list. Who are my VIP members, they get that correspondence on Monday as well. So they get Monday and Tuesday. And it's all about just every single week, they know who you are, you're keeping engaged with them, and they know who you are, what you're doing, what you're about. And if you haven't got deals to sell that week, like what I do is I'll do a video. Like I'll just do, hey, I'll do a quick video, or I'll send them a link to my YouTube channel, a video I've done on my YouTube channel, or I will send them a return on investment spreadsheet for like a copy of my one for their reference, or I'll send them a PDF on something, but I'll send them something. So every week I'm engaged with them. Think about it when you sign up to a like a website, or you sign up to Apple, like you buy an Apple. You're constantly hearing from Apple, aren't you? You're constantly getting emails from them saying, here's the latest product, here's some information, here's this, here's that. And so it's always in your mind. And like, what you don't want to be is that person that finds an investor and ignores them for 6 months. Because they honestly, they'll forget who you are. Because investors are busy people. You
keep in regular contact with them.
Yeah. Next is IES. I go to lots and lots and lots of seminars. We run a seminar business. We go to seminars, but I also go to other seminars that aren't property related.
How many have you been to, let's say, this last week?
None. Oh. Honestly, we're here. But normally, when we can, I always ask the most awkward questions. When we can, I go to as many as possible. The 4D Andy Harrington event we went to, the Thistle, November 2018, yes?
Where you met that big fat diamond merchant?
So basically, I met a diamond merchant there, and from Amsterdam, and he's ended up, like, it wasn't a property seminar, it was a seminar about public speaking. And he's ended up buying, I think he's on 7 properties now. He's bought through Better Source. Just because I tell the world what I do, and I tell everyone at events what I do, so I'm not ashamed of it. So go to seminars, become a networking ninja, go round, and don't go round with your business cards. Do you know what you do? This is what you do. I'll show you. Don't go round with business cards. What you do is you go round with a tablet with
one of those heartburn ones.
No, a tablet. All right. Hold on. This is what you do. You take a tablet with you, and on it you have your website. And you
I can't really see that. Zoom in a bit.
So all you do, right? You go around, and when you're at these events, you take a tablet with you. You carry it. Don't take business cards, okay? And then you get talking to people. You ask them why they're there. Why are you here? What do you want to achieve? And then you get that into your conversation. You steer the conversation to property. And then you say, oh, by the way, I'm a property guy. I've got a sourcing business. This is what I do. And then you show them on your website. You show them your website. Boom. Scroll down, show them your website, okay? And then you say, oh, look, would you like to subscribe? Would you like to get involved? And then they say yes, and you say, no problem. Why don't you just fill out the details now? Just fill out the details now, and then they're on your list. A lot of people won't do that because they won't ask the questions. But my point being is, do it. That's what I used to do. I used to go with my phone, and even if you haven't got a tablet, go with the phone and say, oh, look, there's my mailing list. Do you want to join?
It's far better than giving a business card.
I don't have business cards. I do not have business cards.
The problem with business cards, I was having this argument with someone. Maybe we should talk about this on another show because I can go on forever. But the problem with business cards is you just end up with a big pile and you just throw them away.
Dude, whenever I go to any event and I get business cards, they get left in my car, and then I take my car to the cleaners to get washed, and they say to me, throw these out, and I say, yeah, just bin them. That's it. I don't take business. I will not actually take a business card or something now. They always try and give me one. I'm like, I don't want business cards. So honestly, it will sit in my pocket. I'll never do anything with it. If you want me, find me on Facebook, find me on Insta, send me a message.
Any other tips or
seminars? Make me go to seminars, network like crazy, network the room, tell everyone what you do, but don't be trying to sell to them, offer them value. So ask them what they're there and how can you help them achieve what they want to achieve. Oh, excuse me. I don't know who it was that said it. But somebody said that if you can find a way of giving of helping somebody achieve what they want to achieve, you'll achieve what you want to achieve. I don't know. Do you know who said that?
No, I just said you say it.
No, it's quite a famous saying. Find a way to give somebody find a way to give your customer what they want, and then you'll achieve what you want. It's all about adding value first.
I don't know that saying. Are you sure it's a famous saying?
Yeah, I've heard it so many. I'm going to find it and I'll send it to you. Next,
did you watch We're the Millers?
Yeah. I did watch We're the Millers. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, let me finish.
See where he said about the famous saying, and everyone was like, well, "That's the saying." Do you remember that?
No.
Like to bend her over a barrel and show the 50 states, and he's like, "What?"
I remember a lot about We're the Millers.
I
Like
remember that.
the border.
Oh no, that was horrible, bosses. Ignore me. You carry on with your story.
Okay. I remember We're the Millers, where they're at the board, they come out the drug den and they've got a little Mexican on the bike. And he says, he goes, I've just seen you come out the drug den. He goes, he goes, it's 1,000. And he makes, that's so funny. Anyway, watch We're the Millers. It's so funny. Right, anyway, seminars. Go to seminars, engage, network like crazy. Don't take business cards. Take your laptop, take your iPad, get them to sign up to your mailing list there and then. People say they're going to sign up, but they don't. Okay, this is what happens. So if they say, give me your card, I'll sign up when I get home. They won't. They'll forgotten. Your card will be in the bin on the way home. So just don't give cards. Give mailing lists. Get them to sign up. Next, tell the world what you do. Don't be ashamed of what you do. Tell the world what you do. Stand there loud and proud. This is what I'm doing. If you don't like it, tough shit. If you do like it, come on, let's see if we can do some business together. Next, I use online to do that. I'm very vocal online. I will tell a lot of people online through videos, through Facebook posts, through comments on forums, through any media outlet whatsoever. I will tell the world that I'm working property, I'm a property investor, I'm a property entrepreneur, I'm helping people make money through property. I'm not ashamed of that. Okay? But I do not ever try and sell a deal online. What I do, I use online to direct people to my website, because that then gets them into the funnel of my business. It gets them into my mailing campaign. That's what you want ultimately, okay? And online. And then next is reputation. Do not stitch anybody up over a £2,000-3,000 deal. It's not worth it. You're honestly, good reputation in this business is crucial. There's too many sources that have got a very bad reputation, and they'll be very, very short-lived. Very short-lived. So have a good reputation. Make sure you look after your investors. Treat your investors like you would want to be treated. Treat their money as valuable and as careful as you want your money to be treated if you invested some money in a property deal. And again, I will only sell a deal as a package deal to an investor if I personally would buy that deal. If I wouldn't buy it because I'm it's a bit ropey, or it's a bit I won't sell it. It's that simple. The deals we sell, we've done a lot of work on, we've done a lot of due diligence on, and we're very comfortable that they will work. Now, that's not to say that every time it will work. Listen, don't think just because you're buying from a sourcer that it's a guaranteed overnight riches. It's not. All it means is we've helped you do the due diligence. You still have to satisfy yourself that the deal stacks. And do some of the properties that we sell struggle to rent out? Yes, but very few. Because times change. So what might be good now, like for instance, Hull, when I first started working in Hull, was a really good area. Now it's quite saturated. So I generally wouldn't promote or advertise any deals in Hull unless they're up and running and tenanted. So you've just got to make sure that you don't ruin your reputation, because honestly, you ruin it once, you'll never get it back. I think it's so important. So overall, listen, in a nutshell, the way to find investors is to be networking like crazy. Go to as many networking events as possible, and go with an agenda of helping people, helping investors find better deals, helping investors analyze deals better. Go from a complete position of serving. Don't go from a position of I'm going to that networking event because I've got to make $5,000. Go to that networking event because you want to find some investors, or you want to find some vendors that are looking to sell some deals. Sell some properties to you, and then you can sell them to investors. And if you just do this all the time, you will find investors, and your investors list will start growing. It took ages for me to get. It's taken me 3 years to get 7,500. Okay, and I add sort of 40 to 50 a week, 60 a week sometimes. I'm getting a lot at the minute because everyone's at home, not doing a lot. So just listen, I've done this. I've been there. I've been in a situation where I had no investors. I sold my first deal to my own investors when I had 77 investors on my list.
Okay? That's great, man.
It doesn't take long to get 77 on your list. Like I tell you what, you guys, if you set this up, if you set your website up, set your CRM system up, and you do this properly, you can start getting 20, 30 investors a month very, very quickly. And I teach all of this at the Deal Selling Masterclass. Now we're just about to launch. I think we've already launched it.
Ready, man. Online deal selling masterclass.
Already. Deal selling masterclass is online. You can do it online. And Samuel's going to be teaching all of this sort of stuff online. So if you want information about that,
four-week course. 4-week course.
4-week program, all about deal sourcing, how to sell deals, how to package deals, how to find amazing deals, and also how to find investors. So listen,
We'll put a link.
We'll put a link to that below. It's honestly best money you'll ever spend, best money you'll ever invest, 100%.
Oh, amazing. Right, it's now time for this. So, question and answers session of the. Hello, can you hear me?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, good. Question and answers. So we've got a couple of questions that have come in. So I will read them to you now, my friends. The first from Charlie Wakely. Hey, Charlie. How's the rental market right now? New renters for single lets and rooms.
Do you know, I was speaking to, hey, Charlie, my man, I spoke to you the other day. How you doing? I was speaking to my HMO manager, one of my HMO managers, because one of our washing machine broke in one of the properties. So she rang me up to get permission to put a new one in. I was asking her, and what's happened in this area is she's had a lot of, when I say a lot, probably about 15 of our tenants, our HMO tenants, have literally packed up and gone back to Poland or Romania, Latvia, wherever.
Really?
Eastern Europeans, where they come over here. Their work was over here, so they've been laid off or they've been put on 3 months off. So they've gone home for 3 or 4 months to be with their families and stuff. And they've just upped and left. They've given, like, they're all up to date with their rent. They've not paid their rent up to date, but then they've vacated the property early.
Are these your tenants or just?
No, not my tenants. My tenants are all there. All my tenants are in, and they're all.
That's how I haven't had that at all.
But she deals with a lot of properties in this area, so that's what she's seen. But everyone's paid their rent. Nobody's just up sticks and left. But yeah, so I think honestly, I don't know.
Have you personally had anyone play the whole "I'm not paying my rent, the government said" card?
No,
I haven't either.
No, I've not. And I was speaking to one of my HMO managers the other day, and I said that thing. I said, look, are you worried? Because obviously the government have said about this 3 months rent. And she said, yeah, but there's got to be, you cannot just say I'm not paying my rent because you breach a contract. So there's guidelines and there's exceptions. You've got.
The thing is, though, is because the government has come out and said that everyone that's employed is going to either carry on getting paid by their employer, or if they're being laid off, get 80% from the government. Everyone's still getting money, aren't they? So there's no real reason for people not to.
Yeah, but you know what some people are like? Some people will just take it as, well, I'm not paying my rent. The government said I don't have to, because they would rather spend it on shit. Because that's the mentality of some people are. They just want to take all the time. They just want something for free. I'm not saying that's, obviously it's not the mentality of everybody, but there's a mentality of a lot of people in this country. They've got the take mentality. They want to just take whatever the government will give them. And like, do you know, there's I've seen people. You've seen people?
No,
serious? Online. I've seen
online.
I've seen people online start a petition. Let's not pay our rent for 3 months, and they've got, like, honestly, it's ridiculous. They've done a Facebook post, Facebook blog, and they've got hundreds of thousands of people, and it's like, I just want to.
Having said that, although
it's so annoying.
Just having said that, although I haven't had it yet, I think a lot of my rent will be due, like, in the next sort of 3 or 4 days. So we will see.
We'll see, won't we? I've got all my statements should be coming with me by the end of the month, because all my rents get paid to me on the 3rd or the 4th of the month. So I normally get a statement 27th to the 30th from all the properties. So we'll just have to wait and see. All my properties are full. They're all fully occupied. So we'll just wait and see. That's all we can do. But it's not my only income stream. So I've got, I think what's really important during these times of hardship is multiple streams of income. It's not just having one income stream. If I was solely dependent on my property income, then I'd be a little bit more concerned about it. But I've got
And
other.
the other thing is though, is that you can get. I think if your tenant isn't paying, you can get a holiday, can't you, on your mortgage?
You can, but only if you've got a mortgage on them. So I've got a mixture of mortgages and I've got a mixture of lease option agreements. So you can't get you can't get a payment on a lease option agreement. Now I wouldn't ask for one. I wouldn't ask for one because I don't think it's like I'm not going to go to. I've got some lease option agreements and they're all HMOs. So I'm not going to go to the landlords and say, listen, times are hard.
No.
Like times are hard, so can I not pay you this month? Because that's not what I agreed. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not fair on the landlord. It's just not fair because I agreed to pay him and pay them an amount every month, and if I've got to use my personal money to pay that, I'll pay it. I'm not going to let them down because I'm a man of my word. If I say I'm going to do something, I'll do it. Now, obviously, if this goes on for years, then that's a bit of a different story. But I'm not going to certainly the first month that rentals are due not pay the people I've got to pay because it's not ethical.
Yeah, I agree. I think that because the government have also announced for self-employed people, they're going to pay.
Yeah. Do you know what? Do you know what I thought was hilarious?
What?
You're right. The government have said they'll pay 80% of your self-assessment for the last 3 years. They'll average it. So they'll take your SA 302 form and they'll average it over the last 3 years, and they'll give you 80%. Okay. How many people that have not declared their full income are going to be shitting themselves at the minute?
Yeah, yeah. Although it's only up to $2,500, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only up to $2,500. But all these people that didn't declare what they really earn, and they're now sitting there thinking, like, honestly, it's so funny. Well, it's not funny because people are in hardship. But then, listen, if you're not going to pay into the system, don't expect to get out of the system. That's my take on it. So just
It's fair enough, mate. It's fair enough.
People make their own luck in this world.
Fair enough. Okay, so answer the question about the rental markets then. I suppose the other sort of side to that would be, are people continuing to rent? I mean, I haven't got any empty properties, so I'm not sure. I imagine it's going to take a bit of a dip.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Because they can't do viewings, can they, right now? So there's going to be...
Can't really do view. Well, you're not allowed to do viewings. Nobody to go out. So, but saying that, I've been invited to a viewing on Saturday. I've got a landlord who's desperately trying to get rid of some properties, and he wants me to go around Saturday and look at them.
Can't do virtual.
Yeah, but I don't like doing virtual. I like doing. I like to actually be in the premises because you like virtual. You can't really touch things, smell things like.
It's not that you can't really do it. You just can't do it at all, can you? You can't touch things and smell things other than your own phone. You can smell yourself.
But my point being is I'm not a big fan of virtual tours.
Yeah.
I will probably do it in this instance because they're going to be lease option agreements. There's 3 properties. They're going to be lease option agreements, but they're only going to be single lets because they're not in lease HMO territory.
Someone on our academy was saying that with their serviced accommodation stuff, that they were getting a lot of joy. They were putting, do you know, and I always poo-poo it, but it's a different time right now, isn't it? Do you know the little notice boards in supermarkets?
Oh, yeah.
They're putting up like short to medium term rent, room for rent. And they were getting quite a lot of, they had 2 5-week bookings from that within like 24 hours for their service. So that people are still looking for rooms. People are still looking for places to live. Expats are coming back to the UK.
Yeah, and also think about service accommodation. Like think about it. Like a lot of people are seeing success at the minute service accommodation with helping the NHS and giving them discounted rooms because obviously there's a lot of people that are key workers that they're working in hospitals, so they're open to they're very in front of the virus and things like that. And they might not want to go home to their families.
Yeah, well, I've got a friend who's a nurse who doesn't want to go and stay with her family, so she's looking for somewhere to stay where she can isolate from her family because she's a nurse. So I think there'll be lots of people that'll be in that boat as well. I agree. So there's definitely opportunity. You just need to tap into it. I mean, luckily for me, all my stuff's full at the moment, but we'll see. We'll see in a couple of weeks, see what happens.
Yeah.
One more question because that took quite a long time to answer. What can we as deal sources be doing at the moment to stay ahead of the game? Obviously, no viewings and investors are pulling out of deals left, right and centre. Thanks in advance.
Okay, what I'd be doing... I'll be focusing on growing your investors list, getting that investors list out there, making sure people are on there, making sure your systems are in place correct, make sure your paperwork's up to date, make sure your website's working properly. Just make sure everything's working properly that you can do, so that when we can go and do viewings, then you're ready to go. Also, everyone's in the same boat. So you could be finding lots of deals online, arranging them, getting in contact with the landlord, try and do some virtual tours, so that when you're ready to go and viewing, you can go and do that viewing, but you've done all your due diligence beforehand. You know what I mean? So that make use of this time. I don't know where, obviously if you're saying investors are pulling out your deals, I'm surprised by that, because I've had no investors ask pull out of any deals from us. We won't let them. Obviously they've got 14-day grace period, but if they choose to pull out now, that's their choice. They've got 14 days from when they purchase to do the DD and make a decision. But if they want to pull out after 14 days, unfortunately, it's not something we're going to be able to refund. We'll help them find another deal, but we're not going to refund them. That's just how it is. So it all depends how your terms and conditions are clear. Now, listen, people might think I'm being a little bit harsh in saying that. Let me tell you now exactly what's happened to me now. I paid, when was it? About 2 months ago, I paid £1,800 to a finance company for valuations, for broker fees, all that sort of stuff. Now that deal is going to fall through. They're not going to refund me that £1,800. It's not going to happen. And I wouldn't even ask them, because like they've still done work. They've done the work. And I wouldn't even I'm going to lose solicitors fees as well. So I've got £500 on account with solicitor. Now, the deal's fallen through. It's not the solicitor's fault. It's not the finance company's fault. It's because something's gone wrong elsewhere. So it's just business. This is life. This is business. Just make sure your terms and conditions are right. And then don't be scared of... One thing that I used to be really worried about was bad press. Investors going on to Facebook and saying, "Oh, this person scammed me." Right? The reality is, most sensible people will see there's two sides to every coin. Now, I've never ever done anything bad to any investor. Never. Every investor I've ever done with, they've been dealt with accordingly and with the utmost respect and with compassion and all that sort of stuff. So don't be scared of people going online saying, "Oh yeah, I bought this deal and then it fell through 3 months later and he wouldn't give me a refund." Because there's reasons for behind it. As long as you act in accordance with your business, with your terms and conditions, with the guidelines, then of course sometimes you're going to get a little bit of bad press. It's just what happens. And just get on with it, suck it up, and just know that what you're doing is good. As long as you're doing it well and as long as you're doing it good, then sometimes
don't allow people to blackmail you.
Yeah, no, never. Never. Don't let anyone.
I agree. Awesome. Well, thanks ever so much, guys, for tuning in and watching the show. We hope you enjoyed it. Please do not forget to subscribe below. Yeah. We'll be back next week, even if we have to do it in this strange new format. But thanks ever so much for tuning in. See you next week.
Okay, guys, one thing before we go, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. I've just done a YouTube channel. It's called Alasdair Cunningham Property. I'm going to be putting videos up there every single week, 2 videos a week. Make sure you subscribe as well.
While you're at it, subscribe to mine.
And Russell Leeds as well. We've both got YouTube channels, Alasdair Cunningham Property and Russell Leeds. Russell's also, his book's just come out. You've got 48 hours to go away. Order that completely free of charge. It's an amazing book. Make sure a lot of the property lessons I got come from that book and Russell. So make sure you get the book. Make sure you subscribe to both YouTubes. Follow us on Instagram. And yeah, guys.
The longest goodbye ever.
Guys, see you next week.
See you next week.